Hello and welcome to Hook, Line, and Encounter, where we throw simple item, creature, or concepts to our guests, and they have 2 minutes to deliver a story hook, plot lines, or adventure ideas. They're going to go in random order, so whoever goes first is going to need to be quick. And while the others have some more time to think, the trick is they are not allowed to repeat ideas the other guests have already used. All right, so everybody, roll your initiative.
Okay, here we go. I got a 6.
Oh, I failed. I didn't roll with the right syntax.
3.
You need a space in there.
Whoops. I like had it all typed out. I was like so excited, and I was like, oh, I forgot something. Crap.
That's awesome. All right. So our order today is going to be Ryan, Matt, and then Andy at the end. So now that we've rolled our initiative, let's introduce ourselves in that order. So, Ryan.
I forgot the criteria. I'm supposed to tell people that my name is Ryan and then 2 other things, but I forgot.
How long have you been playing RPGs?
Oh my gosh, RPGs. Holy cows. I seriously thought about this, like, before, like, we moved to Steam, or, I mean, like, I had an NES.
Yeah.
Like, it's been... Holy cow, hang on. It's been, like... I don't know. It's been, like,
32 years?
Or more.
Fantastic. When was the first time you played D&D?
Oh, man.
Ballpark. How old were you?
Geez. I was still in high school. I was probably 16.
Nice.
Yeah, I was probably like 14 to 16 when I first played.
All right, and being the first person to go this week, you get to pick the favorite something. What's your favorite something? And then the other guys got to follow when they introduce themselves.
Oh man, my favorite something right now is, this is gonna sound so like nerdy and geeky, but like, so I really like mountain biking. I just got a pair of clips and shoes for my bike. Like I totally switched stuff out, and it's my favorite thing right now.
I don't think outdoor activity on a bicycle is necessarily considered nerdy. I think that's the wrong word there.
For biking, it is.
For biking,
it is for biking.
Needing your clips and your toe clips, yeah, you can.
Yeah.
So the other guys, that might not be your favorite thing, but how do you feel about mountain biking? That's now the question to you guys. And next up is Matt.
My name is Matt Lima. I'm a co-content creator for Amplisardo Games. I do the year one adventures. I have been playing RPGs. I can't remember how old I was when I first picked up a video game controller, like 4 or 5. But then D&D for about 16 years. I was probably 8 or 9 years old when we started. I remember playing in the basement of my grandmother's cabin for the first time. That was the first time that my dad introduced me to D&D.
Very cool.
Oh, and I love mountain biking. It has been a long, long time since I've done it, but I would very much enjoy doing it again.
Yeah, so I'm Andy. I've been playing for probably 20 years, right around high school age. Definitely not as old as Ryan is, so I don't have that 30-plus year mark. Yeah, I completely forgot what the other question was. Mountain biking?
How do you feel about mountain biking?
I love it. Again, like Matt, I don't do it nearly enough, but it's a lot of fun.
Very nice. All right, everybody, and I'm your host. I'm Mike Lima. I run Amplisardo Games, a Patreon hub for all things D&D. We do adventures. I think the only thing we don't do is artwork, and we probably could do that. But we would do adventures. I do maps. I write articles on stuff. So I've been playing D&D in a role-playing game since I was 7-ish years old, which makes it almost 40 years now that I've been involved in this hobby. I grew up just a stone's throw from Lake Geneva, the birthplace of our hobby. And it's been in my life ever since. Mountain biking, I used to love it. I'm far too round to do it effectively now.
That's what e-bikes are for.
Well, I actually have one sitting right down over here right now. I have a floor pedal machine, so I cannot be as round. It's pretty great. Oh, look at that. That's cute. All right. So let me go over the rules once again as we get into the meat of our podcast today. And here it is. I'm going to throw out a very simple concept, idea, item, maybe a creature. Some of it may warrant a little explanation, and if we get one that week that does, maybe a little lore if I'm giving you a creature or a specific item on it, I will pass that out. But typically, I'm going to say things like a gold coin, a tree frog, a basket of bread. All three of those things I just came up with right now weren't scripted at all, and you're going to have to give me some adventure hooks, plot lines, and good ideas. You have 2 minutes to do it. I have a timer set sitting right over here, and you're going to get 2 minutes to give me the best that you got, and at that, when it's up, it's up. And we move on to the next player after about a 5-second break. I'll tell the next player to take a breath and then go. And then they get to do the same thing, but they can't copy anything that the previous player said. So when we have a bigger crowd, this is going to get nuttier. And the idea is by the end, will probably be pretty bonkers. But for today, we just have the three of us. So I think we're going to be doing pretty well. So that your idea and your concept today is a forest. That comes straight from Lynn Lima herself, who I asked what should we do first since this podcast was mostly her idea. And that means, Ryan, you get to go. Forest, go.
Okay, this forest is way off the beaten path. It is a forest on an island that's almost unreachable. It takes days to get there by ship. Sailors generally avoid it only because it's surrounded by very treacherous waters. However, the few people that have explored there have come back telling tales of like very strange phenomena. No one can explain it. It's different to everyone. No one understands what's going on there. People have tried to set up settlements and like trade routes through there, but nothing ever works. People come back from like different parts of the world. It seems like it is just in its own pocket dimension, and that's what a lot of people ascribe it to. People have seen different kinds of monsters, different weather systems have been seen there. There's all sorts of different flora and fauna. So no one can really identify what this island is, but every time someone talks about it, they know it as the island with the forest on it, because that's really all that's on this island is just this vast lush forest, and nothing else. It's the only thing that stays the same about it. And please tell me that my 2 minutes is almost up.
You have 35 seconds left.
There seems like there may be some inhabitants there, but no one's ever seen them. People have like tried to conduct survival and tracking, but it's fruitless. It seems like there's someone there, but no one's ever found anyone. But everyone identifies this place with the lush forest, even though everything's always different. And that's all I got.
All right, you guys are going to have to hold on a second. My headset actually just died.
Oh, no.
I should have way slowed that down and stretched it out, but I was super excited, clearly.
Right on, and we're going full force, and then halfway through you're like, oh crap, now I'm done.
Yeah. I should flesh these things out a bit more. Dang.
I mean, you don't really have time. You only have like 30 seconds.
Oh,
You're
my
given
gosh.
your topic, and then we have to be creative.
Yeah, I had so
And now-
much time.
I can't repeat any of the things that you just said, so...
Yeah, well, I'm sorry because I talked so fast, and I was so glad to go first. I was like, first is awesome in this situation.
You said a lot.
You
You
did.
said a lot of things.
You unloaded a ton of stuff. So I think I'm going to have to set up a rule that we vague stuff is copyable, because if you have a forest and you can't talk about flora and fauna, you're going to have a bad time.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, sorry. All that stuff off the menu.
So
No, that's
On an
bad.
island.
Oh,
You can't
yeah.
talk about islands.
Yep.
Yeah.
So islands you can't talk about. I would say
Trade routes, ships. Forget it.
Yep. You can dial in specifically on similar topics, but that came off as vague. But maybe that's why we get a moderator in a role here, so they
Sure.
can say you're too close. Change.
What's
change
what's on
Yeah.
point and what's
Yep.
what's off
Yep.
off
So-
bound? Yeah.
No, but
Out of bounds,
overall,
yeah.
fantastic, Ryan. You could write several adventures out of that what you just spawned out, because I mean it is the plot line of several adventures.
I may or may not have been relying on previous information
Maybe
in certain
so.
parts.
Maybe so. All right, Matt, you're up next. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Go.
Okay, so my hook for the forest is an animal comes out of the forest that can speak. And so it runs up to the players, and the players need to go into the forest and solve the problem that the animal has. All of the inhabitants of the forest are being turned into animals, and they don't know how to fix it. There was a druid that lived here that kept everybody safe and in a circle, but the druid is missing. All of the people are turning into animals, and the druid who would have been able to help them is now gone. The party must go into the forest, and they must find out why all of its inhabitants are turning into animals, find the missing druid, and solve the problem. The reason that the druid is missing is because I don't remember what Ryan didn't say.
Go for it. We can know
on an
it's too
island.
close.
Because the reason that the druid is missing is because he was kidnapped by a wizard. And the wizard wanted to turn all of the people into slaves as animals, but they began to escape because he wasn't ready for how successful he was supposed to be. And so now it's a big cover-up. There's a big, big mystery. Let's see here.
Classic management blunder.
Absolutely. He found he found a magic item in the forest that he tried to utilize, blame it on the druid so that he could come out as the hero who is in charge, and all the people would then pledge their loyalty to him as the savior, but instead he accidentally screwed it up. So now he kidnapped the druid, is looking for a way to blackmail anybody who gets too close to solve the problem, and the players need to decide who is truly at fault. The druid for not protecting the grove, the forest that they're in, or the wizard for causing problems in the first place.
All right.
What am I at? My
5
time.
seconds. 3.
5 seconds. We did it.
We did it. Good job.
They get an animal companion for winning.
Oh, nice. That's a nice tack on at the end there. Man, 2 minutes seems like such a short time till you start trying to explain.
Oh my
stuff,
gosh.
And then you're like,
Yeah.
oh,
That's a lot.
It is a lot. I
This is a
love it.
long 2 minutes.
That's good. Good job. Good job. So crazy wizard who, in classic over-intelligent people, don't know how to plan for the future. It's like every company we've ever worked for. There it
Oh
is.
my gosh.
And Andy, are you ready? Go.
Ready. Okay, so this adventure is going to start outside of an area that has a lot of major cities surrounding the forest. And the reason that there's a lot of cities surrounding the forest is actually that the trees are made of metal. So the trunks are made of like an iron. The leaves are like a copper. And so instead of being harvested for lumber, they're being harvested for mining materials. And so there's a lot of industrial activity that goes around that, but like any natural resource, that leads to over harvesting. And so some of the entrepreneurs are starting to get a little devious in their attempts to grow in their power of this forest, and so they've started kidnapping. Or no, I can't do that. They were not kidnapped. They were killed. They were killed by the other companies. There are assassins in this forest killing off workers. And so the party has been recruited to not only rid the metal forest of these assassins, but also to go about finding out which owners have been trying to take over. So yeah, they've been running about. I am nowhere near 2 minutes.
No, you're
so,
at a minute 30. You got 30 seconds.
Okay. So yeah, the inhabitants only have pickaxes, so that's the only weapon of choice you have. They do have thrown property on them, so you can throw your pickaxe, but it's only 15 feet. So it's kind of like the lumberjack, where you're throwing it in the bar, but you get pickaxes, and that's your weapon of choice. Yeah,
And that's it. 2 minutes. So we got a great adventure.
We did it, you guys.
A really unique area, and some severe weapons limitations out of Andy. All right, so let's see here. Let's do a quick summary of what we got. With Ryan, we got a mystical island that fades in and out of existence, making exploration and trade routes very difficult, full of flora and fauna. Those who get there
different flora and fauna and animals.
Let me
Weird weather patterns and people
Yep.
that may or may not live there. Nobody knows.
Who knows? Nobody.
Nobody.
Not even the people that
Not
live
me.
there.
Not even the person who made it up. And the Metal Forest. That's really cool.
I like the Metal Forest. That's
Yeah, what
neat.
else did you guys like about what each other said?
I like
I-
everybody being turned into animals.
I thought Matt's was super creative. I really liked it. Like, you were very collected through all that.
Thank you. I noticed that I was like, okay, if Ryan is gonna spend time on the setting, which I thought was awesome, because now like that's a whole scenario for like a campaign setting. You could spend a lot of time going to an
Yeah.
animal. I'm like, I want hooks. I want some player motivation. Why do
Yeah,
they have to go
specifics.
there?
That's
Yeah, that's
awesome.
good.
That's awesome.
And I really enjoyed Andy's creativity of just like, guess what? It's not a forest at all, but it is. It's
The
metal.
Metal Forest. Yeah, that's awesome. For Aura.
It's candy. It's something else.
That's
like
super
that.
Great. I love it. That's
Turn it on
it
its
was,
head.
it was awesome. So a lot of fun. I thought it was a good laugh. We all got a good laugh out of it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed doing this, and I think we'll do it again soon.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
some people will be inspired. Go
Yeah.
make an adventure,
I made
everybody.
a few notes real
Yeah.
quick for anybody who does happen to watch this pilot episode where we were still figuring out how to do all the things that we're gonna do, and there it is. Check out the Metal Forest on the Vanishing Island with the weird weather and the druid and the bumbling mage. It'll be great. Be absolutely
Yeah.
great. All right. Well, thanks everybody for coming out. Thank you guys for being part of my experiment here, and we'll see you soon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.